Hi guys, welcome back to the Daily News Roundup, where we look at the news doing the rounds for the past 24 hours. We're going to start with this one from Eurogamer.net regarding the Hellblade 2 physical edition reportedly coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Physical version of the original game also set for the Switch as well. So the article goes on to say that it looks like Hellblade will be getting a physical release across PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Earlier this week, the SRB posted about a release for Ninja Theory's sequel across the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5. This time, though, Microsoft was not listed as the game's publisher, but Limited Run Games was instead. Limited Run Games is known for publishing physical editions of games, which may otherwise remain only available to purchase digitally. So while an official announcement hasn't been made, this rating all but confirms the physical edition's existence. In addition to the releases for Hellblade 2 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, a new Switch listing for the original Hellblade game has also been added to ESRB, again with Limited Run Games listed as the publisher. This suggests Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice will also get a physical Switch version too. The first Hellblade game originally arrived on Nintendo's platform digitally back in 2019. So I just wanted to cover that there. That it seems like there's going to be a Hellblade 2 physical edition coming to consoles. The next article I'm going to look into is TechRadar.com, and this is about a leaker claiming that Sony is now working on a new PlayStation handheld console. The handheld could be announced by 2028. Sony is reportedly working on its next PlayStation portable console codenamed Jupiter. A leaker claims that the device's chip will be deployed by AMD and use Samsung Foundry's SF2P node. It's said that a deal hasn't yet been finalised. The article goes on to read that Sony is rumoured to be working on its next PlayStation handheld console. That's according to known leaker Dukelan Lazarev. I've probably butchered that, but who has claimed that Sony is currently working on its PlayStation Vita successor, which could be announced by 2028. Sony is said to be evaluating a new low-power gaming system-on-chip project, which is being internally I cannot get my words out today. Which is being internally referred to as codename Jupiter, and the company wants AMD to develop it. Okay, so that's just about that. I did have the Vita myself, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see the next one up. I had the PSP and the Vita. I remember, I'm probably remembering the console wrong, but I swear I remember Godfather being on PSP, and it was a brilliant little game. And I think Miami Vice was on there as well, and that was a pretty little fun game as well on there. I'll have to see if I can find it. Me PSP and me Vita, and I've got them somewhere. But anyway, on to the next article from Gaming Bible. Currently, you can get access to $90 worth of free store credit for Steam. The little bit of the catch to this is it's not directly through Steam. As the article reads, the opportunity comes courtesy of free Steam games over on Twitter, now formerly X, who is currently hosting a triple giveaway. The first place winner will get their hands on a $50 Steam gift card, whilst second and third place participants will bag themselves a $20 voucher each. The giveaway runs until May 28th, so you don't have long, but luckily entering is pretty easy. As well as reposting and liking the original tweet, participants will also have to wishlist 2 Steam entries, which are Sector Unknown and Sector Unknown Prologue. Basically, if you wishlist those 2 games on Steam, you also like and repost the original tweet, you get access to this competition that runs only until, I think it did say somewhere in the article, I did read it earlier. There you go, 28th of May. And the winner will get their hands on a $50 Steam card, and second and third places will bag $20 each. So the next article I wanted to kind of look at, it's not so much a news article, it's kind of more of a not so much an information one, more like an interview one, where they talk to one of the devs from Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, just basically saying that they pushed the hardware at the time as hard as they could push it when they were making Chaos Theory, and they feel like those pushing the console for Chaos Theory kind of spearheaded them to kind of, for it's kind of started that trajectory of technology being pushed and console being pushed. So it was quite a good little read. I had to read through it this morning. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to take a look. Like I said, it's one of those just information ones. There's no any like breaking news in there or anything that them working on a new Splinter Cell game. I just think it was a little fun article that I wanted to include in this video. And last but not least for today, I just wanted to include this one in that popped up on my feed, which is from inverse.com, and it talks about 15 years ago an unlikely racing game really cannot get my words out today. Racing game perfected the Mario Kart formula. There we go, get it right. So yeah, the game in question, if people remember, was Blur. So when Bizarre Creations, the developer of the critically acclaimed Project Gotham Racing series, was purchased by Activision in 2007, the last thing anyone expected was a hard break from their semi-realistic street racing. But while their first game under the Activision banner was a forgettable third-person shooter, their 2010 follow-up, released 15 years ago today, was one of the greatest arcade racers ever made. Bizarre's magnum opus masterfully balanced realism and fun, yet tragically led to the developer's demise. On the surface, Blur looks like any other 2000s racing game. It features real car manufacturers like Ford and BMW, and in stills it looks like one of the countless games influenced by the Fast and Furious franchise, where racers compete for first place in the dead of night. Sure, the contrast may have been cranked to 10, but that seemed like a small differentiator at the time, when series like Need for Speed and Midlight Club were hitting their stride. But yeah, I just wanted to include this in here, because I don't know if people remember Blur. I do agree with this article. I think yeah, it didn't kind of get the love maybe it kind of should have, and I think in hindsight, I think you do look back and think, actually, yeah, this game was pretty fun, and that's what it was. It was just fun. It was a fun little game. Like it said, I do get the link with Mario Kart. Yeah, it did have a kind of arcadey look to it, and I think if we was to go back now, we would kind of wince at the graphics. But I just thought this was a fun article to put in. I do remember owning Blur. I do think it was a brilliant little game. I'd love to see if I've actually still got it somewhere, because I have got a 360 somewhere. I think this was the 360 game. Yeah, it's got to have been, hasn't it? See, I'm actually doubting myself now, but it's got to have been 360. It's got to have been. I don't think it was Xbox One. It's got to have been 360. But I remember owning this game, and like I said, I'd love to see if I've still got it. But I do wonder what other people out there are thinking, whether they remember Blur, whether they remember it from a good experience, bad experience, what their actual thoughts are, and whether from like a sentimental thing you look back and think, actually, that was a pretty neat little game. Like, I don't think it was trying to be anything spectacular. I don't think it was trying to be like a Need for Speed. It literally was just trying to be a realistic version of Mario Kart, driving real cars. But yeah, like I said, that article came up. I just wanted to kind of include that at the end, because it brought back a bit of nostalgia for me, and I was like, oh, I remember that game. Because what kind of took my eye was this picture of the article here. That's exactly what I saw, and I thought, yeah, I recognise that game, which was Blur. But like I said, as with the previous article, I'll put it in the description below if you guys want to go away and read it. But anyway, that's it for today. A nice short little news roundup. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe, it does help. Check out my other videos on the channel. I'll link them at the end of this video as well. So, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for giving up your time. See you on the next one, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.